Welcome to Event VODs. This is the full VOD of today's NLC Winter 2025 matchup.
Far longer than it was supposed to, but even though Scarlet has been tweaked right now, is that a priority? Keep in mind that Mel is also available. She has been played, and she has been playing mid and bot as well. Kind of complicated to deal with that champion.
It's Skarner and Zyra, by the way, that you always need to take away from Jankus, because these are the two champions he simply refuses to lose on. And like, if the situation is dire, you will see Ruddy pulling at least one of these two out. But then things like Draven, for example, come to my mind. I would expect it to be banned out because it's going to be such a big pick for Ruddy if it's available for them.
Well, I don't think we've seen Hamza pick Draven, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like, it's always been unavailable or just not. But the problem with a Draven pick is the game warps around a Draven. You have to play around him. And Ruddy just do not want to do that, right? They absolutely don't do that. So, it's almost a feels bad moment for Hums, where he can't show us what he's best at, because it just isn't really his team strategy. But, you know, in a deep fearless draft, I mean, I would hope to see it. Although game one, I'd be a little bit skeptical. I'm going to round out the bans right here now. Quite a few bot lane targeted bans for Ruddy, and more solo lane and top side of the map focus for Bulldog, which mirrors what we were saying about these two teams' different playstyles.
So you leave the Skarner open. There you go. But it also allows you to pick like Ezreal, the Leona, the Rel, those priority picks we've seen lately. You give away a jungler, but Wukong could fit in.
Yeah, and it's another pick for Jankus that he feels extremely comfortable on. There are a lot of things for Leader that can work out really nicely with Wukong paired up. So for Ruddy, there are still plenty of options available. It's interesting that Bulldog not just decide to go for Skarner, but before that, they used their last band to get rid of Ambessa. Mientek, being a really good top lane player, doesn't necessarily have the biggest champion pool, so limiting it by yourself is an interesting move.
I'm not surprised to see AP junglers being favorited by Ruddy here, because Leader is an AD melee merchant in that mid lane, right? His best champions are melee champions, and a lot of those melee champions can be physical damage. Is why you've seen Ambessa ban, Yone ban, whatever. So either way, I do think that if you're going to have like a physical damage mid laner, which does play into Ruddy's wheelhouse, having an AP jungler is very valuable. Zyra's taken away, so we're going to get that brand, and it is going to be paired up with a Corki, which could be in Leader's hands, right? It could go over to Leader as well. We've seen Corki go mid. At this point, it's a flex between that mid and bot.
Yeah, depending on what they decide to go for Hamza, but they could still go there. Ezreal for Exofank makes total sense, especially in the first game of the series. It's kind of a safe pick, but Jace for Mientek, I wasn't hoping to see that, but I love it because Mientek can be, like, he tends to be a little bit oversteppy on the Jace, but at the same time, he's really explosive. And like, usually if you look at the damage graphs after the games where Bulldogs have him on that Jace, he's gonna be one of the top damage.
Okay. I was wondering, why don't you pick just a support and then you can tackle on the top side eventually? Because since you know it's Jace, you can go with Malphite, we could go with Ornn if you want to play for late game. Yeah, you can at least soak it up for the beginning, or even lane swap if you want. I don't know how Ruddy is looking to attack this one, as the supports are now going to be picked out, and Kasing, well, he has to fish.
So we already have Rakan removed, now we have Leon removed, quite possibly the last ban from Ruddy is going to be Rel. I just wanted to say, they know who to target on the enemy team, especially since it's Ezreal we're talking about, so there is a big chance that Bulldog will, leave Exofank on autopilot in the bot lane and then try to help out Cayman on the mid lane. Whatever Cayman decides to go for, Kasing could be there for help.
I wouldn't be too surprised to see Kasing pick up either Rel or Maokai, depending on which one's open after this ban.
Right.
Maokai also has the extra benefit of doing a little bit more magic damage to the squad, which is kind of lacking magic damage right now. But it is that Brawn ban instead, which is I find a little bit surprising. Because it's not really something we've seen Kasing pull out, and also it's much more of a defensive orientated pick instead of more aggressive, which is what we tend to see and what we've seen so far out of these players as well. But yeah, focusing away Perks' champion pool here. The Sarn's gone. We did see an Ornn hover, so that might be like even the Cassante. Yeah, I was gonna say Cassante's gone through so far here. So Perks has kind of just been chilling a little bit. Like he's had some role playing games topside, but also can go for those can go to those more carry topsiders if he fancies that as well. Although the champion pool for that, with that Ambessa gone as well, and unlikely to pick a Rumble when you got Brand as well, means that he might just there's your leader pick in the mid lane to go pair alongside your Brand.
Yeah, I like it. So we have a melee champion for leader, we have the AED champion for leader. So like everything works out in the sense of having the synergy with Jankos on that Brand in the jungle. Just really wonder what in the end is going to be happening on the top lane, because the own that they were showing makes total sense here, and like it works with the extreme aggression that Ruddy already showing in their draft. Okay, since Rally is not banned, Kasink not playing Lulu, but I wouldn't expect a Lulu in this game, to be honest. Rel makes total sense here. Now, is it going to be something like a Syndra maybe on the mid lane for Kevin, something with just obnoxious amount of AP damage later on in the game?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a bit more AoE here, but we'll see. I like the range as well to kind of keep leader at bay. But even something like the Aurora could probably slide in here too as a bit of a disengage option.
Oh.
And this works, disengage, keep your range. Like, obviously Ari isn't
Ari's
really like
Garner.
not a long range champion by herself, but with just the amount of like moving around and all that zip zapping. What was it you did in our little emoji game, Archroom? The shoom, shoom, shoom. That's there it is. That's Ari in a nutshell right there. So so there it is. That's a nice round out there for Bulldog, and now it is going to be that chill champion in the top side for Perks with that Malphite. Doesn't get much more chill than that, and pretty simple to boot.
So Salad and Foxtrot, before we toss it to the first game of the day, I just want a name. I just want you to tell me, who do you think is going to take this first one to start off the aggression? Saladi!
No comments, but Bulldog.
Ruddy!
That was so good. With that in mind, we'll toss it to the beginning of the game. But first, a word from our sponsors. I'll see you soon.
Performances has backed that up, but the Ruddy's like, if they find their level and if the stars play to their peaks, I'm sure Trouble they can definitely put up a good fight.
Absolutely, and I respect the effort right here from Bulldog Esports. Grouping up as 5 in the early game, entering the jungle, setting down some vision, trying to keep track of Jankos. I feel like a lot of the more successful games of Radisak, Jankos is on a very fast clearing jungle. It's a Zyra that we've seen him on before, and Brand sort of follows the same patterns. Very fast at clearing, same type of damage, same sort of way that you play around him. He's a very space-making kind of champion with a lot of AoE spells. So we see Jankos sort of in the same role that Radisak have won with. Now, one thing when I saw the Irelia, I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was going to be Perks. Perks is also a pretty nutty Irelia, but Leader is the Irelia player in this team. He's the assassin, the melee bruiser guy, and I want to actually see how that mid lane is going to pan out before that level 6 on Ari, where she gets a little bit more slippery.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. You said it yourself, right? Leader, the Irelia player. I remember seeing multiple highlights just popping up on my social media pages throughout the years with Leader smurfing it in solo queue on that champion. Instead, Perks gets sent on dog duty, tank duty, whatever you want to call it up in that top lane.
Hey man, EU top laners.
Responsible for that engage.
Yeah.
He is a mid laner, what EU mid's saying, so he's a bit of a weird mix there, right? The MSI champion obviously playing multiple lanes, AD carry mid lane, top lane, simply the third added to his repertoire. Maybe in a few years' time, Trouble, we'll see Perks playing support or jungle just to get the full collection of different roles in competitive.
Yeah, in pro play, absolutely. Now, of course, you see that a lot of the times when you've got champions that can really quickly dash around, they're AD based, they've got auto attacks, they usually pressure the wave really quickly, especially when the wave is low. You can get to Q it with Irelia, you get the reset, so you keep clearing the wave. However, this is where Irelia is the most vulnerable, where the wave is right now. You've got to sort of overextend. Cayman is a little bit more safe playing behind, in front of his tower. So pushing that wave when sort of like just pretty much bounces in front of the tower is a little bit of a weird scenario for Irelia. Jankos is going to find a surprise.
Yeah, definitely has an idea of something going on because he walks straight up
and he's out
through those cracks and wow! Can he cover that much ground? Unbelievable.
Skarner!
That is illegal, man. Even despite the nerf, Skarner definitely still has that strength to him. That mobility on a tank engaged jungler is actually crazy. Regardless, though, he is just able to steal those Krugs away. Get a little bit of an advantage early on. Bulldog obviously won this matchup in the upper bracket 2-1. In the best of 5, though, anything can happen. Ruddy Sag, obviously Trouble, looked very good last week, but a change in roster with Wonder subbing in might have made the difference. So with Perks back, there are question marks to be raised, and Leader looks for something, he'll come out empty-handed.
Yeah, and I feel like this conversation is really worth having because I feel like there is some sort of pressure on Perks as well, especially since you mentioned that this is going to be the third role he's going to be playing in competitive play, and Wonder came in, absolutely smurfed it. I think he was MVP of that series as well. Like, this guy really wanted it to be done quickly so he can go raid afterwards. Like, it was very obvious. That's how hard he smurfed. And I feel like there is the question here of, can Perk sort of fill in the shoes of the guy who temporarily filled in his shoes? He was literally just a sub for that one series. And I feel like we'll have to wait and see. You mentioned it, dog duty, you're playing on the Malphite. However, it's a very important dog duty because this is pretty much your secondary engage together with hustling onto that Nautilus. So you have to try and find your targets, specifically when it comes to Ahri and Ezreal. They're extremely slippery, so Perks' ultimate is going to have to come in clutch.
There is a lot of pressure on these engages. I think that's very clear. That's my personal takeaway from the draft. You know, a little bit of a standing coach in my own team down in the Danish First Division. So I've been having some experience drafting. And if you don't draft enough engage, you can definitely be punished for it. And I thought Ruddy said, very aware of that. As the final pick, that Malphite will add that extra bit of layer to their engage that is likely needed. So, very slow start so far, Trouble. When can we first expect to see some action? Because I heavily doubt it will be for quite a while longer.
I mean, like, I feel like for Ruddy Suck, they're pretty happy sort of chilling back, allowing the brand to farm the jungle over and over again. I feel like as long as they keep their eyes on where the Skarner is at all times, they will be more than happy. And I feel like for Bulldog Esports, they're looking at that level 6 to enable the Ahri to dive into the backline, to enable Lulash to make those engages with the Skarner ultimate, find those targets. And I feel like very soon we're gonna have the first set of void grabs on the map as well, which is usually when teams start getting a little bit Ruddy, I want to say, on the map. As you can see, the double TP coming through from bot and mid for the set of Bulldog Esports. You got the extra control ward over on the top set as well from Miatek coming onto the map. And I'm actually expecting to see a little bit of setup, especially now that Cayman has hit that level 6 and he's not as threatened by Leader on this Aurelia.
Leader's Aurelia just ticked over to level 6 as the void grubs are spawned, the Drake has spawned, and there are certainly plenty of things that you could fight over, but still, these teams not over eager. In the mid lane, we'll keep our eyes as Jankos is waiting for that opportunity, as you can see right here. Looking for it, and a little bit of a CC. There is a flash on Cayman, and obviously the Ahri, very mobile as well. Instead, it's Cayman that wins that trade heavily, and Lula's now to back up. Jankos the one in trouble all of a sudden, and the damage is good. The first blood secured on top of it as well. Now Leader in this 1v2 has a decent amount of damage. Could find the return kill on Lula's. W just not quite enough for the damage, and the flash away created the space necessary. Cayman still poking and prodding. Heals is good with the Q, the blade. So much damage. Cayman now in trouble as Leader, dancing around flawlessly on his Aurelia, forcing both Lulas and Cayman to go back.
Fully stacked Q, fully stacked Conqueror right there from Leader. You saw the healing coming through this whole iteration. That looked a little dodgy. I mean, Lulash was still level 5. Leader takes those. All good. Calculated. Jankos ends up going down. It was a very clutch front step, actually, from Cayman. Didn't blink at all. Just walked up. Dodged Jankos' combo right there. And then they ended up turning onto Jankos. Jankos level 5 on this brand. Can get the full burst with that level 6 and the ultimate. Now, Leader, a little bit slow right here. He's going to take eventually that reset. Cayman walking over to the bottom of the map together with Lulash. So we're going to see no contest on the top side of the map. I'd like to actually see Jankos take advantage of the type of champion he's playing right here with the types of Brand and Zara-like kind of champions, where you clear void grabs very quickly. I mean, they do still reset, but you do clear them because you have a lot of base damage on that champion. Let's watch this one more time. Cayman, Jankos walks up. The stun will come through from Leader, and Cayman just walks up to Jankos and just dodges the combo right there. Really, really great stuff from Cayman. Lulash is around. Jankos got run over right there, but whatever the heck Skarner is, looks like a scorpion, I don't know. And you see all the healing coming through from the fully stacked Conqueror plus the pot onto Leader. Almost a 1v2 coming through.
Yeah, really, really good performance. I mean, the confidence of both these minions to play this close up to each other, pushing their kids to the limits, definitely feeling themselves in what is a do or die best worth remembering. In this, we've qualified for top 4. You'll be playing again on Friday, fighting for your spot at the LAN in Nottingham. Only 3 places to that, of course, so you wouldn't have qualified just yet, but you've taken a crucial step closer as Ulas takes a step closer to Leader and just finds a little bit of poke.
And you can see there was a trade-off for neutral objectives on the map as well. 3 Void Grubs going over to the Ruddy sack. With, of course, again, Cayman and Lulash resetting through the bot side of the map. There was an opening on the top side for Jankos, so he snuck in and grabbed that one. Now that's a 4-man on both sides of the map towards that bot quadrant of Jankos' jungle. He is level 6, though. And Bulldog Esports know better than to bundle around a brand.
Yeah, that's a recipe for disasters. Now they'll find
Kasing.
a different angle in.
Kasing.
Kasing flies wide, no ultimate as well, so very squishy early on. And not really the engage you would have wanted. Forced to flash out to safety as leader. Now looking for Cayman. The Flores do it, goes wide, and instead the trade now turns in Cayman's favor. Ludas, they have to back up his mid lane as well. The flash is forced, the kill could still come through. The cooldowns just need to be there, and the hijack really. And the kidnap comes through from there, from Ludas rather, to secure that one. The fight still ticking as Exofang. That's a whole heap of damage to force the flash out of hostage. But Jankos, where did that come from? A huge amount of damage there to pick up the double kill, flash forward, but can't quite connect. I did not see that coming as Jankos single-handedly turns around the fight.
And we just said that. I literally just said Bulldog with solo kill from Miatek onto Perks as well in the top lane. Literally just said before that starts, Bulldog Esports knows better than to bundle up as 4 into a level 6 brand. All of the bounces around with the ultimate plus the abilities in a very short space do insane amounts of damage. Hopefully we'll get to see this one more time, but Leader fancies the dive!
Leader, and we'll just get it. No flash though, and he'll die to the turret, so Cayman eventually gets the 1-for-1. Oh, not sure about that.
Alright, let's reverse. Let's go back in time a little bit and watch this one more time. Cayman, great fancy feat right here from Cayman. Dances around Leader, gets the charm as well. They force the flash with Lulash getting a little bit too close. And Cayman starts charging all the abilities from the ultimate. One left, they catch Leader, they kill him off. And here's where they get a little bit cocky. They see all the damage coming through from Exofang. And Jankos just turns around and hits them with the entire combo. I mean,
nasty damage.
Come on, man. That was a huge bait right there by Ruddy. Great execution.
This series is certainly set to deliver, and I get more and more convinced of that with every single minute that's passing trouble. These players are quite clearly confident that that's a great engage that will just lead to a kill for Hums. But Cayman, up until that play, obviously near perfect game from him, did get solo killed underneath the turret, but made it a 1-for-1. But he's very clearly confident stepping up, piloting this Ari really well. Exofang looking good on the Ezreal, and Jankos biding his time, finds the right opportunity. We completely missed what happened in the top lane. We probably won't get a replay. It was a solo kill before. If they get a kill this time on Perks, I heavily doubt it'll be a solo kill, but they've backed off and don't want to commit to it.
Yeah, very close to Black Cleaver from Miatek as well. Exofang is also going to benefit from the Black Cleaver completion. When Miatek has that one, starts joining the fights. There's a second set of Void Grubs coming up on the top side. You see that Ruddy are already all headed on their way towards the top side. They already have 3. And with Aurelia on the map, if you get those 6 Void Grubs, it becomes such a menace in the side lane. Cayman cannot stop Aurelia late game. Miatek on that Jace cannot stop Aurelia in the late game. So 6 Void Grubs, Leader, side lane, Aurelia, super late game. He's definitely going to benefit on that with the split push.
Stay small little goal lead growing here for Ruddy Sack. We haven't touched much on the objectives, but the Void Drops have been taken for Ruddy Sack. A singular Drake. It's gone over to Bulldog, so in that regard, it's an even 1-for-1. The feats of strength, or the feats of warfare, you can say, in Bulldog's favor, still need either a turret or 2 more neutrals to have that secured. They could just be these 3 Void Drops that Lucas has now started. There could be one more nail in there. No feats of strength stopping with the Bulldog.
Yeah, Ruddy a little bit late to that one objective, but they could potentially look to just disrupt the 3. Not give the +1 of feature strength away. Teleports are coming in.
I mean,
Cayman?
Cayman's caught out, but he has rather found Jankos. Will still go down, but Miatek will back it up and secure the kill. Hums now dashing forward to secure the kill on Exofang, but that's a trade. 1-for-1, 3v3 now as Leader comes in, looking to finalize this fight in Ruddy Sack's favor. The Flash and the Bulldog running for the hills, but no clear way to escape. It's a 4-for-3 in Ruddy Sack's favor as they disrupt the play.
That was such a messy execution from both teams. However, I feel like Cayman TPing straight into 4 members of Ruddy Sack, and then Exofang having to overextend to get the kill over Ruddy Sack. Then you sacrifice both your main carries in mid and bot lane. Ruddy took that one very convincingly. 3 for 3 in terms of void grabs. So the 3 have been taken away. One neutral objective away from Bulldog Esports to take the feats of strength. And everyone going back for the reset. Dragon is still on the map. And let's watch this one more time. You'll see that the 2 teleports are coming in. However, Perks is TPing into the pit. Look at the instant swap. They see Cayman TPing in. They instantly pin him down. And Exofang's a little bit too far forward, overextended, trying to help Cayman. That's double carries down for the side of Bulldog Esports. And you'll see that's a great Skarner ult. But there's no one left to do the damage. Even Mitek here walks a little bit too far close to Lulash, who's actually Nautilus ulted, gets knocked out, can't put more damage down. So that was an unfortunate scenario and pretty bad positioning from both Cayman and Exofang.
Yeah, the TP just straight up sucked. Got caught out and taken down. And speaking of, someone might be caught here. I think it's Lula's. At the end of the day, he has made the play and he has to pay the price for it. Hums will pick that up, and that's the Drake as well for Ruddy. They have lost the feats of strength as Miatek has been busy working away in the top lane, securing that. I think this Drake is guaranteed. There is a smite, of course, on Ruddy's side, but it looks like BDG might not want to give it up freely. Muslim, right low as we'll find the engage somehow on Cayman out of nowhere. Just comes in with the depth charge and the dredge line to secure it. It's a great start with 2 more to fall. Bulldog signalized they wanted to play, and Ruddy took them up on the offer.
I just feel like Bulldog Esports are a little bit dizzy right now. I feel like they had the chance to possibly push top lane, push mid lane, push bot lane, try to grab a little bit of chip tower damage for themselves. However, they stuck around. They thought that they could potentially maybe try to get a pick. However, Cayman gets caught, has ultimate, doesn't use it, ends up going down. Kasink is too deep, goes down as well. And I want to reverse a little bit to the previous series that these 2 teams played. And I want to say that Bulldog Esports were really good in terms of team fights. The TP is going to come in. 3 versus 1.
Doesn't even get to clear the wave. Tries his hardest, and the shutdown
Yoink.
goes over to Perks. He'll gladly take that one and get some gold in his own pockets. The only one behind, individually speaking, on Ruddy to fight. Far from over though, as Cayman confidently dashes forward, charms up leader, but a good re-engage from Perks, but it's not good enough initially as it's still leader, the man in target, dashes around with the blade surge, trying to find the damage onto Kasane, does well, and forces the flash out underneath the turret he goes, but will be taken down in return. Now Cayman dashes forward, and able to connect much further as the damage. Not quite enough. Exofang now reaches up into the top fight as well, but the play is over, and it's a 1-for-1.
Miatek does have TP though if he chooses to get back into the fray, because that Rift Herald is up and available. He'll choose to TP bot lane, which gives the signal to Ruddy that it's more than free to walk over to the top side of the map. Exofang just about arcane shifts that Q away, but look at this pressure right now. That was a little bit of a questionable TP over in the bot lane. Tower taken away by Ruddy. You give full access over on the top side as well, where the Rift Herald is waiting. Miatek is most likely going to be able to reply with the tower themselves. But that mid lane tower is just worth so much more in general on the map. It's going to be 1-1 for all. And only about 2,000 gold difference between the 2. And Bulldog Esports are going to take the resets from Ruddy and start the Herald themselves.
They get another neutral objective in that pocket. What has been a very evenly game so far. It's a slight only for Ruddy as has been growing in these past few minutes with the turret now going down as well. They're growing just a little bit more, but they're not done. They want another play. The ultimate is up in a few seconds for Perk, so he'll find a easy engage angle if the opportunity bites itself. Instead, though, Kasing seemingly just giving up his life here to try and save the rest of his team. But Kaylin caught underneath the turret 1v4. But Perks goes too soon. The engage is all out of whack here for the side of Ruddy. They take so much damage from the turret. They're now the ones caught out. What has happened here as Cayman finally falls to the Vanguard's edge. As Yankas taken down by Lulas. That's not perfectly executed, but somehow, some way, Ruddy managed to win it.
I'll tell you what the somehow and some way is. Hummus is level 10 on the Corki. Both Summoners has not used them, has 2 items, 615, 2.4k up in gold. This Corki, as long as you keep him alive, you're guaranteed winning the fight. He was untouched this entire time. And I felt like for Ruddy this was a little bit of a clever engage. Thank you, observers, for giving us that replay. Let's watch this one more time. Kasing is dead to rights right here. They sacrifice the support to go for the Rift Herald. Now look at the ultimate onto Ari. It comes up as he lands from this knockup from the Malphite. Right now, Cayman has his ult. He's going to use his first charge, which is what baits Ruddy Sack too deep into the tower, and the rest of the team follows. However, when Hums arrives, it's a pretty much done deal because Exofeng overextends again. Once Ari, once Ezreal is down, majority of your damage, well, actually all your damage is gone because Miatek was over on the bot side of the map.
A fit 4v is a great side if you're a Ruddy Sack fan, looking to claim that revenge on Bulldog for losing to them in the upper bracket. In one, of course, that's all this is. It's just a 4k goal lead, by no means insurmountable with the Drake spawning in 50 seconds. Another fight could be on the card, but wouldn't surprise me trouble if Bulldog say, you know what, we'd rather scale a bit and make sure we set up 4 fights correctly and not fight what would just be the second Drake for Ruddy Sack.
I'm kind of getting scared right here because I don't know how much a poke composition can scale into what Ruddy Sack have. They've got pure brute force engage with the Nautilus, with the Malphite. You don't get to sit around and poke.
Came in, once again caught underneath the turret. The dashes this time won't be enough to claim anyone as the damage didn't quite ramp quickly enough. Perks in a 1v4 underneath his own turret will just give it up and respect the fact that it is Bulldog with the priority. Nice little drift there from Lunas as well to make sure they claim 2 whole turrets.
They can get another charge if they want to. They're gonna play it a little bit safe. And I was just about to say, I don't think Ruddy Sack needed 4 members to dive Cayman right there. Leader is a level up. You have Perks, you have Hustling, who has so much CC to pin down this Ari. This way, they have actually lost a little bit controlling their jungle. Jankos?
Does catch out Yankees, but I'm not sure who's caught here. Trouble as instead it will be turned around on Lula as he can't take enough damage out on Yankees, and instead that's an immediate counter engage. Hums now goes dominating. Keep your eyes on the rookie in the Sea of Veterans because he's the one who's all the damage in his pocket. 2 taken down already. Bulldog forced to run. They are over eager, over aggressive, and they are paying the price for it. Hums nicely dodging out of the damage. Good flash away to create the space, but Exofeng connecting well on these Mystic shots. The fight's not over as Ruddy Sack somehow lose it as damage, the poke, the consistent DPS. Too much for them to deal with.
This is so messy. This would have been a fight instantly won by Ruddy Sack. If I'm not wrong, this is Leader deeping into that mid lane. Exofang and Cayman have to run away. But this is it. Bulldog Esports had to commit so many ultimates, which means Ari with no ult, sitting duck, no flash for Cayman, even more of a sitting duck actually with the no flash. So I think even playing around that mid lane wave when you see Aurelia dashing about is kind of scary if you're on an Ari, no ultimate, no flash. However, Bulldog Esports, they have the rest of the team around, and Ruddy Sack, I feel like it's pretty safe for them to walk in. They don't necessarily have any of the bigger ultimates. They will have in a bit. Malphite ult, Hustling's ult just came up onto this Nautilus. They've got all the tools they need, and I feel like on the other side, Bulldog Esports are just running towards Atakan to set down some vision to try and potentially find a team fight there. Now, something we haven't necessarily talked about a lot is the way Bulldog Esports do beat. Never mind.
Never mind. Go on with your point.
What are you doing there?
That's it. Yeah,
what are you doing there, Hustling?
Yeah, support duty, you could say, and Miatek forced to flash now as well. You could ask what he's doing there. Luckily, with the flash in his back pocket, that was a quick way out. Now Perk's the one caught. This is so messy, Trouble. It's back and forth. They keep overextending. They keep wanting more than they can realistically get, and they get punished back to back. The teams really catching each other off guard here.
That's so funny. This goes back to my point to say, you know how Bulldog Esports beat Ruddy Sack last time? They were really good at team fight. You know why? Because Ruddy Sack majority of the time were fighting with a member less on the map. Because somebody was getting caught. Bulldog Esports were taking advantage of that. They were grabbing objectives. They were grabbing team fights. And they were able to bring down Ruddy Sack. In no way, shape or form should Ruddy Sack be face-checking things like this. Hustling. Face-checking that mid-lane bush, knowing that majority of Bulldog Esports, if not all of them, were top side of the map, has pretty much lost his team, the Atakan, on these situations before where they just overextend slightly as we jump back into the game again. Atakan has just gone over to Bulldog Esports. He will run out just about as Baron's about to spawn. Baron spawns at 220. This will run out about 30 to 40 seconds before Baron spawns, but they could definitely use this to leverage some sort of fight to grab the 2 last outer turrets in Ruddy Sack's side of the map.
And even if not, right, at the minimum you feel like this should give you great control over the Baron as soon as it spawns. Get some vision, get some priority, and make sure you can set it up for it in your own favor and utilize.
Oh, they're looking for leader.
To the best of their ability, as you say. They're looking for leader. One of the 2 characters, I think the most important member though to keep your eyes on, is that American rookie down in the bot lane. 8, 1, and 6. 3k goal lead over Exofeng. I mean, if he pilots this Corki correctly, the game is well and truly over. But there is some problems for him. Cayman, in particular, will have him in his sights, and he has been lethal today on this arc.
Yeah, and no flash onto Hums as well. If you do manage to find a full flank TP or a way to walk through Fog of War for Cayman, try and find the backline, all Hums has is his barrier for the time being. So Bulldog Esports should definitely try to find a way to pressure those sides. I feel like specifically bot lane and top lane should be pushed out. You've got 2 outer turrets remaining. And with Atakan on you, you should definitely not just look to take control of a side of the map. I feel like that is the absolute bare minimum to do with Atakan. You should be looking to open up the map. Now, of course, topside, we do see a fight ping. So they could potentially be looking to get back up onto the map. However, I feel like the buff is just about to expire just a little bit. So Bulldog Esports are running on a timer. They have not gotten anything with this Atakan they took away. So Ruddy could be the real winners through that.
I feel a bit disappointed, Trouble. I at the very least thought they would get full-on control around the Baron Pit, but if you look at the vision, there are still Radisek wards behind enemy lines, and while they don't have direct vision over the Baron spawning, Bulldog by no means have full control. I thought at the least, at the minimum, that was what they would be able to gain with the Atakan, but what really worried me about Radisek in the game, giving up that Atakan so easily, has turned out to be the price. Simply just being that, and nothing more, nothing less. As Kasing is looking for some wards. He could be caught up here at the top side. Perks says hello to yet another veteran. Kasing, though, able to walk away. Perks, usually one with damage when he played in the mid lane, but not in the top lane role. Thrown on the tank duty, and simply do nothing but say hello.
And the timer gets more dangerous because the closer we get to the time, Flash will be up for Hums as well, so it'll be much harder to pin him down, to try and get to Corki. Again, he is the #1 suspect, the #1 wanted on the poster for Bulldog Esports hustling.
The Baron is on the map and they've caught Lulas. Instead, he gets left 2 right back. Exofeng now trying to dish out the damage. They found the first kill. Immediately TPs are coming in from leader, but it's too late, it looks like. As Cayman goes forward, they try to turn it around on him, but he dashes right out. Now Miatek trying to find the damage, but can't quite, as I think Yankees' AoE was enough to stop them from further engaging. Such a tense fight.
Reason of the Aurelia and just destroyed the rest. But I feel like,
We were
again,
so close.
I've seen a little bit of over-eagerness by Haslin. I don't think just because you see champion, you should hook champion. Lula should be the lowest in priority when it comes to engaging from the side of Radisak. I mean, I get it. If you get the jungler out the picture, you can very easily go towards something like a Baron or the next Dragon. However, pinching yourself in such a short space into Skarner could lead to very problematic fights.
It's very high risk, high reward, right? I think that's probably a good way to phrase it, because as you say, if they get him, they get the Baron for free. But the Skarner, if you don't one-shot him or CC chain him until his death, he'll kidnap 3 of you right back and throw them into his team, just waiting with open hands to take those kills on what is likely, at the very least, 1 carry that has been caught. So, a risky game, but a lot of stakes, so definitely matches the stage that has been set. The Drake sole point on the map here for Radisak.
Yeah, and Radisak are going to have to try and find a way into this river. Very well guarded by Bulldog Esports. Cayman on the flank as well. Eyes on Hums, because Cayman will definitely have eyes onto this Corki. Take Jankos out, take Hums out with that Ari. Would be huge. But right here, Radisak are splitting apart Bulldog Esports. And for a Poké position to be split apart, this is not a good
Fights the
thing.
engage, and look at Cayman, he found the flank, and he assassinates Jankos immediately. The leader is down, and Exofeng raining havoc from the backside of the fight. Finally, Cayman goes down, but Bulldog have already got everything they came for.
That was an incredible fight from Bulldog Esports. I saw them all split apart, and when you split apart a Poké position, it's just really difficult, but Cayman finds the miraculous flank. He finds Hums, he finds Jankos in the back, and Bulldog Esports, again, through sheer team fighting power, take down Radisak in this team fight and will claim the Baron.
I can't wait to see that again.
Is that deja vu?
A bit of deja vu and pure brilliance there from Bulldog. The fight looked so hard to maneuver, and I thought immediately as Kasing went in, the engage went kind of awry, but keep your eyes on Cayman, Trouble. What an engage. He finds the exactly correct target, and Jankos the leader within a second.
absolutely great stuff right there. Connects the E and Q. And Hums, even though he plays from a more of a defensive position, he has to actually walk up to put some damage down. I love how you said that the leader was dead. Leader, on the other hand, wasn't dead, but he didn't manage to do enough in this fight as 1v3. And suddenly, from a gold lead to a gold deficit from Ruddy, catastrophic fight. A what? Last time I looked at Jace, he was 800 gold up to the Malphite. He's now 4.5 thousand gold in the lead. Triple items in the inventory. Very close to the fourth one as well for the Jace. Now the poke is really gonna start hurting.
Insane gold lead in that top side. I said the burden of execution was on finding the correct pick, but somehow Bulldog managed to do it yet again in their time of need, and this goal lead will only grow over the next 2 minutes. I can't believe this game just got flipped on its head, Trouble. I was so confident in Ruddy having everything under control 10 minutes ago, and then throwing it away around the Artican and just straight up being outplayed in a 5v5 around the Drake. Worrying signs here for a star-studded roster.
Yeah, here's the hardship though for Bulldog Esports. I don't think this game is anywhere near over. It's because the Baron went down. It was only 2 dragons. We're nowhere near Soul Point, or Soul rather, sorry. And there's still an outer tower that remains for Radisak on the both side of the map. Atakan resulted into nothing for Bulldog Esports. Baron resulted into a top lane tier 2. And that's about it. The game is just moving so slow. This is still anyone's game. Summoners are going to be of pivotal importance. Hums has his flash up. Very close to having his flash up for Jankos as well. Very important for these two to stay alive during those fights. And Bulldog Esports are looking at the last outer tower remaining for Radisak.
The last outer tower, could actually say, likely not long for this world, as that poke from Exo Fang is certainly sticking. Perks pretty tanky, but the rest of the poke connects on the right carries. Hustling trying to step up, but even he, as a bit of a tank, can't do that for long against this lineup. Cayman just constantly fishing and threatening trouble on the flanks, and it's so hard for Ruddy's to deal with. What do they do in this situation to try and bring this back? Because this just looks unplayable. Look at all the poke coming through. The Qs are flying all across the map. The arcane balls, the mystic shots, and now the engage coming through as well from Lulas. He's found perks and Cayman can't fight the carry. Now they try to turn it around on him, but he can't quite go down before the right engage has been found from Lulas. Ruddy are falling to pieces. Leader from the flank, desperately holding on though, and he finds the 2 carries to keep this game alive. It would have been over if that TP wasn't perfect, if the engage from Leader wasn't perfect. And Ruddy live to fight another day.
Well, there's a way to find the last outer tower for Radisak, and it's just bypassing walls, running through walls, running down Radisak. They found Hums with a great Skarner ultimate from Lulash as well, and they're just brute forcing the way into these fights. Let's have a look one more time. You mentioned it, they were poked down from the Ezreal, from the Jace. Lulash showed the opening, engaged onto them. However, Jankos had gotten his full combo out, and Hums was able to hit some as well. I feel like had Hums survived that Skarner ultimate, it would have been a completely different fight. Leader could have potentially been able to grab 1 or 2. However, the problem remains. And that problem is 5,000 gold up on that Malphite. 7, 1, and 6. 4 items in the inventory. Edge of Night completed. Going for the last one, which is going to be the Garden Angel as well. Miatek is a huge problem, and Radisak are gonna really have to try and figure out how to get to Miatek, potentially a flank. Perks has TP, maybe find a deep control ward behind them. The Dragon's gonna come down. Bulldog Esports, they just know they're just that good at team fights. Hold on.
They're going for him again, and they get kidnapped. But this time it's the 2 tanks though, as Lunas easily makes his way out. Miatek, such a big problem, has found the flank. Hustling finds the good charm, and he's taken down immediately by Cayman. The engage is just falling to pieces here for Ruddy's Leader can't do anything. The carry's unable to do what they want, as it's Cayman instead having a field day all over this Ruddy's roster. This game is done for sure. Hamza hiding back, trying to do what he can, but the rookie cannot save the sea of Rhetoric. Just falling to pieces. Gaming really just on a field trip here with the boys. They're just having a kickabout, and they are dominating Ruddy's in the team fights. It is not all bite, no bark here for Bulldog, as they confidently win the team fights and take game 1.
Oh, they look so scary. One mistake is all it took from hustling for Bulldog Esports to turn this whole game around. And we're starting from square zero if you're Ruddy Suck. You're starting to get deja vu. You're starting to sweat because you have seen this play before. But if you see it one more time, it's lights out.
Ruddy's like pushed against the wall by Bulldog already here. Bulldog, man. What a performance, Trouble. I cannot believe it.